ami Bog. Remember, no Russian.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2's mission, No Russian, will go down in history as one of the series' most controversial missions. Now, if you haven't played Modern Warfare 2, this does contain spoilers. This mission has you playing as Private Joseph Allen, who is ordered to infiltrate Makarov's small group and go to this airport and shoot civilians with Makarov for the greater good.
All about the greater good.
The greater good. How can this be for the greater good? The greater good.
These are orders, and what we're talking about today is a lesson on, is it okay to follow orders blindly? Because Alan surely does, and it is for the overall greater good, or so we think. The thing is, though, even if it's not for the greater good, if Alan would have successfully accomplished his mission, this would have been an atrocity on a giant scale. And even if Russia didn't find out, it would be something Alan would have to live for the rest of his life. It would take a piece of him, as Shepard says. And in the end, if Alan also just died instead of Makarov shooting him, it would have led to World War III anyway. And also, if the Russians would have found out after we prevented World War III might have happened anyway if they found out. It's sort of a lose-lose situation. Well, it's a lose-lose situation for everybody, especially for Alan. Alan's the one putting himself up against this, and really, you could think of him as a hero if you were to stop World War III, but also he's a villain. So Call of Duty puts you in the shoes of someone who's just taking orders, following them, and not really thinking about it. You as the player are left to think about it. Call of Duty has always been this very immersive game, and No Russian really is an immersive mission. It may leave a very bad taste in your mouth at the end of it. Now, I've heard people tell me that, well, you can go through the mission and choose to shoot nobody, and this is true, I'm sure you could. But the thing is, if you really play the mission the way that it was intended to be played, I mean, Joseph Allen was given a gun. He knew what was required of him. General Shepard also knew what was required. McTavish also knew, Roach also knew. But the thing is that right? I mean, this was to stop World War III, but in the end, it kind of just started it. I mean, that kind of, you have to reflect upon that. Now, I want to throw this into context because the developers are actually pretty smart about putting things in juxtaposition to Alan's actions. Because in the first mission, which is a training mission, you're running through a shooting range, and you're given targets. Some of them are enemies, and some of them are civilians. You're given a civilian counter, and for each civilian you kill, you get 1 negative point. At the end of this, it'll tell you what difficulty you'll play on, but that's aside from the point I'm trying to make. Because if you shoot the civilians, you lose points. And if you shoot all of them, you have to redo the shooting range. Now, if you shoot everything and shoot the civilians, you have to redo the shooting range.
Not good enough, Alan. You killed too many civilians. Try it again.
It's kind of crazy when you actually put it into perspective. The developers understood that they wanted to portray Alan as a soldier, a good soldier, because in the second mission you liberate a school and a town, and General Shepard then takes you away to Task Force 141. He's like the devil or something, and if you haven't played the game, he is the bad guy. Kind of worse than Makarov in the end, in my opinion. Anyway, it's all for the greater good. But Alan loses a piece of himself. He loses a piece of his humanity, his morality. These are humans he's shooting. In my gameplay, I even took time to look at the corpses as I was walking over them. It's something that, well, when you take the time, it's actually pretty dark stuff. Call of Duty can be lighthearted, and video game violence is often very cartoony, and I'll cover video game violence in another video one day. And the second part of this video is aimed at talking about Spec Ops: The Line and the horrors of war. Now, Modern Warfare 2 is a Call of Duty game, and Call of Duty games mostly glorify war and treat men like objects and, you know, shooty shoot bang bang. But Modern Warfare 2 really has themes of anti-war in it, and I think No Russian represents this quite well when you put it in perspective of the first 2 missions you play as Alan. Now, if you want to go back and play it, take my word that you'll notice these things, because the first 2 missions really made me like Alan, and I could understand what Alan was doing. But in the end, I had a sour taste in my mouth, and things will probably never be the same, because, you know, No Russian. Guys, thanks for watching Expansion Pack, and I really appreciate any likes, comments, or any feedback I really get. This commentary was a little bit unscripted, as you can probably tell, and this subject was picked kind of passionately after some feedback I got. Now, Spec Ops: The Line is something I was considering doing anyway, but the feedback I got specified that this was a game I should look into and do a topic on, so I chose to. I'm going to be playing the game because I've actually never played it before, but I'm aware of the themes in the game. It sort of takes inspiration of Heart of Darkness and Apocalypse Now, so I feel almost like the plot is a tad bit spoiled. But in some way I feel like I'm going to enjoy the game, even though it's probably really, really unpleasant. So stay tuned for more episodes and more Let's Plays or whatever else I put on this channel. Thank you for viewers like you, and thank God for Jim Sterling. So, God save the Queen, God bless the United States of America, and you know what? Just thank you for viewers like you. Hasta luego.
So how do I look?
Like one of the bad guys.